Bylaw Services does a count just in our downtown, our north end, a little bit up in Rutland, and they've identified 170 people on average are visibly sheltering outdoors every night in the month of October. And that compares to about 70 at the same time last year.
That is a huge increase in just a matter of months. Where's that coming from?
It is a huge increase, and by no stretch is that exhaustive. They're not looking everywhere throughout the city, so you can imagine the true number is in fact higher. In terms of where they're coming from, certainly we have to consider that the Doyle Street shelter closed at the end of June, and there were 60 residents in that site. And for that reason, we're very excited that the Bay Avenue shelter is now opening to replace that. But in it, like all communities in British Columbia and beyond, we are seeing an increase in the number of people who are unhoused in our community. And whether it's economics, absolutely, addictions, there are a number of factors that are contributing to the rising number of people who are homeless here and everywhere.
We've seen over the last few years supportive housing project, one after another, and yet still the numbers seem to stay the same. Now the ones that were planned have been built, there's no more coming on, but yet people continue to come into homelessness. Is that going on?
Yeah, it's certainly troubling and it's frustrating. Through Journey Home and BC Housing and in partnership with the city and our great not-for-profits in this community, more than 300 shelter beds have been added in just the last few years. And yet you're right, we continue to see the rising number of people who are falling into homelessness for a variety of reasons. Imagine what as troubling and challenging as the current situation is, imagine what it would be if we didn't have those more than 300 beds in our community in the last few years.
We see the bylaw people out there today giving people notice that as of Thursday, there's going to be a bit of a crackdown again to get back to the real rules, which are that you can't just leave a tent there all day. It needs to be set up and then taken down each day.
Yeah, it's an incredibly tricky balance as we want to compassionately enforce both the case law as it relates to, on the one hand, our legal obligation to designate a public space in this case for people to shelter overnight, and balanced with the needs to ensure that we don't, frankly, have a 24/7 encampment, a tent city.
Today they're telling us that next week we have to pack everything up every day, take it with us, and or it gets thrown out, or and so basically we're supposed to pack up everything and somehow get to work and do our regular.
And then you can come back and set up a tent again
5 o'clock,
at 5 o'clock, but not earlier.
No.
The people who are living out there see it as kind of systematic harassment.
It is a balancing of rights between both populations, the neighboring community and those who are unhoused. And what we're really encouraging and enabling by bolstering daytime services at places like the Metro that's the opportunity for people to connect with their service providers, and get services, be it hygiene services or lunch services, which are available in other locations throughout the city.
Right. But here we are at this point in time with something close to 200 people around the downtown that are out there camping with winter on the way.
Yeah, we are bracing for a very difficult winter. We have a shelter that is opening, and that's 60 people, but the math doesn't add up. And so we continue to work. Journey Home and BC Housing continue to work to provide a roof and a bed for as many people as possible. And the numbers are staggering, and our community is not alone. We are hearing this province-wide, and we're bracing for a difficult winter.
Right. Darren Cole, thanks for your time.
Thank you.